Hey everybody, and welcome back to Aramore. So as you can see, over the past few minutes we've started this neighborhood, just expanding over towards the other side of the island. So this neighborhood is supposed to be a grungier neighborhood, really not a very good neighborhood, and I'm pretty happy with what we achieved here. But yeah, welcome back to Aramore. So today we've got a lot going on. We're going to be building this neighborhood, we're going to be building a children's hospital area near it, and we're going to be on the other side of the islands. Not really the other side, but it's going to be more towards the golf course area. We're going to be building a shopping center, and we're going to be filling in that area by the high school that we've left open, and we're going to be filling that with some football and soccer fields. So that should be fun, because we don't really have too many sports outlets for the high school, so we had to do that this episode. And yeah, we got a lot done here, and this is a pretty long episode. This is, how long? This is like 40 minutes. Last episode was like 16 minutes, so much longer episode today. Yeah, anyway, see, we're placing down this motel here. I'm trying to add a variety of buildings to this neighborhood, and I haven't really done anything like this before, but I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I used a lot of the King Leno assets, the lower residential ones, the shotgun ones, and the shotgun houses, and the lower residential ones. I forget what they're called exactly, but those worked pretty well here because they were very small and not very nice. So I mean, they're amazing assets, but not nice in terms of very grungy and worn out. So that worked out pretty well, and I'm going pretty heavy on detail here in this neighborhood. And you see this motel here, I'm adding tons and tons of little cracks and stuff. We're adding some utility poles, which I haven't done yet because we've been working in mostly urban areas. And yeah, I'm going to be adding a ton of these utility poles as we move forward into the farmlands and stuff. And yeah, in terms of the farms, we're going to be going ultra detailed really with everything when it comes to the farms. And we've got a lot of farms to do. So really looking forward to that. But right now I just want to finish up the main islands. Actually, like for the next episode, I was trying to do the airport and start the airport. Just looking a little bit ahead, but I tried and I ran into a lot of issues. I couldn't even get planes to take off or land or anything. So yeah, that's what happened in Falcon Falls. But I really don't have the time to deal with that. So because I only have like a week to record like 3 episodes, get them edited and rendered and scheduled and stuff. So yeah, really trying to do that, and I don't have the time to like spend a couple days figuring out the airport. Airports in this game with the airport roads mod are incredibly annoying to deal with. But yeah, we'll definitely come back to that in the future, so do not worry about that. But yeah, anyway, so we're almost done finishing up the hotel, or the motel detailing. Not quite a hotel here. So I'm using a bunch of these Fidelmo trees, or I was at least trying to do that. I think I ended up going for something else here. Yeah, I just go for live oaks. I like filling in these little gaps with live oaks because I think they just really work well together when you're looking at them over buildings and stuff. So yeah, I like to use those in that context a lot. So right over here we've placed this landfill asset, and this is sort of on the other side, moving north, I guess. So yes, this landfill I end up fencing off, and the thing is, the children's hospital, you'll see, is going to be right next to it, pretty much right across the street, which is a little bit screwed up, as I will mention later. But I don't know, I'm probably going to keep it. And this landfill doesn't exactly have to be a landfill or a dump site or anything. Maybe it's just a site that was that and it's being cleaned up or something, because we do have some excavators and material handlers and stuff placed in it later. But I'm getting a little ahead of myself, working on this little area, very rough commercial strip. Once again, just placing these broken fences around the landfill, and I end up adding some mud right there around it. And this landfill asset's actually incredibly nice. I believe this is by Engon, who deleted all the assets on that workshop, but somebody re-uploaded them. So yeah, this landfill just looks really incredible. The texturing is great. So I really wanted to use this here, and I really didn't think I'd have anywhere else to put it, so did that. Placing a bunch of boxes and porta potties and stuff like that around here, some skips, and yeah, not going too crazy with props really. But yeah, once again, placed a material handler over there to try to give off the appearance that that's being cleared out. And now filling in this little area, placing one of the vanilla commercial buildings. I didn't even realize that was vanilla. It's actually a really nice asset. I believe it's called Pennies. I'm pretty sure that's modeled off Denny's. Yeah, that's vanilla. So I placed that there and some tile decals behind stuff. So this little area, I'm gonna go ultra detailed. I went way too detailed, I think, in this build, this neighborhood build. But I'm sort of fine with it. It turned out great. So yeah, the building you see right there, that's sort of on the corner, and it's got a little parking lot. That is actually a Bronx. It's called Bronx Shop, I believe. Bronx Shop 1 or something. And the one next to it's, or actually no, there's another one that's a Bronx Shop as well. But the Bronx Shop asset there is just absolutely amazing. Somebody's been making some Bronx related assets. Like a bunch of the row houses you might have seen me place earlier, and I've been placing recently. Just the colonial looking row houses look absolutely incredible, and we haven't had anything like that, you know, in City Skylines until this. So I've been placing a ton of those because there's really a lot of variety, like when it comes to those, and you only need a couple of different assets. So I definitely recommend you trying that out. Look up Bronx, I guess, on the workshop and just set it to building, and you should find a couple of really nice assets. But yeah, going a little bit overboard with the grunge here. But yeah, adding some more broken fences and just gonna fill this area in with some live oaks. And yeah, that worked out pretty well. See, the live oaks really work well to fill an area like that. And these commercial buildings that I'm using right here are the I believe the Riverdale shopping complex or something. Those are really nice, but the texturing it doesn't work too well for me. So I've been using those a ton. Definitely want to make a whole shopping complex out of them in the future though. So yeah, I actually just recorded like another 10 minutes of audio, but there was this, like, I just moved my mic off the boom arm that I had. It's just like a really awful boom arm that I bought for like 20 bucks that barely fits my mic, and it's very squeaky. But I just moved it off of that onto its just normal tripod, and for some reason I've noticed in the video there've been like little bumping noises or something. So I don't know what that is. I'm gonna try not to move anything. But yeah, they were like really bad in the next, or the audio I recorded, so just gonna scrap that. But hopefully they weren't too bad over the past, 10 minutes or whatever it was. And yeah, I don't know. I'll get used to it. And yeah, anyway, moving forward, working on a bunch of stuff over, at this Taco Bell here, and I'm adding, some drive-through stuff and just some yellow arrows, and I added a menu thing in just a second, so from the drive-through collection on the workshop, I believe. And yeah, it's pretty cool, making these drive-throughs. I remember when that wasn't really a thing, and then Flux sort of started that. But yeah, these drive-throughs are just so fun to make, and they just really complete an area like this, so had fun with that. And in just a second here, we are moving over to this Walmart neighborhood market. And this over here is a really nice asset I've used before. Not in this city, I believe, but yeah, this asset's great. I'm actually going for a style with the detailing the parking lot that I went for pretty much with the exact style, in Falcon Falls. And what I'm doing is I'm using a bunch of the stains decals. I'm using broken fences around the parking lot, and I'm filling the planters with some Mr. Mason grass, and that just works out really well. I don't know what it is, but this particular combination to make a really grungy Walmart neighborhood market works pretty well for me, so I've been using that a lot. And I mean, pretty much whenever I make one of these. But yeah, I once again used a bunch of the stains decals. Using these more stains decals just simply on top of asphalt is pretty much all you have to do to make it look really, really nice. So I've been doing that, like, even on the main avenues and stuff and neighborhoods, and that really works great. So definitely try that. It doesn't really require too many, props placed, and it just, I don't know, it just has a great feel, and just using the same, once again, I think I mentioned this before, I just saw $2.20 doing this, tried it, been doing it all the time just with asphalt. That's pretty much the way I detail it. But now working on this back lot area, I'm using just some decals here. I'm going to grab the panel decals in just a second to fill the whole area. I think I'm using the I'm not using the Ronix panels. I'm using, actually no, I think I switched. No, yeah, I'm not using Ronix panels. Never mind. So these are a different panel decal. I forget who made these. But yeah, just adding some dirt and stuff, cracks, as usual. And I'm gonna add some trailers hooked up there, and yeah, not much more to say. Just adding some boxes, stuff like that. And yeah, also I've been pre-recording a bunch of stuff. Obviously, this is being recorded on the 5th of August. The audio or the live gameplay, I am mixing things up today. The live gameplay you see later will be, recorded a couple days earlier even. So you're seeing this way in the future, and yeah, I'm pre-recording a bunch because I won't be able to record for a couple of weeks. And yeah, so I mean, hopefully I can manage it, but there might be some newer assets in the workshop. My collection is at 1,000 items, so whenever I need to add a new item to my collection for Aramore, I have to delete one from before, which is actually an incredibly good way to moderate your asset use. Is if you make YouTube videos, just keep stuff in a collection, and it keeps you to 1,000 items, except I have so many items that are just in packs, and I add different collections to my collection rather than just all the individual assets, like all the Brooklyn ones. I'll just add the Brooklyn collection instead. So yeah, I don't know, it's just a good way to moderate your use. But I've still got, like, my game loads like 2,700 assets when I load the game. I'm gonna upgrade my RAM soon because I'm at 16 gigabytes right now, and I'm pretty sure my game is just at 100% like all the time for like 5 minutes. Once I load my game, it's really bad, and it's probably not good for my computer. So I'm definitely gonna upgrade now in the next few days, and I've been putting it off for a while. But I believe $2.20 just did the same thing, and he just upgraded from 16 to 32 like I need to, and really helped him with the exact same issue I'm having, which is like when I start my game, I look into just the grass, and just it's just looking at nothing, I get 2 FPS and I can't place anything. So if any of you have the same issue, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's RAM. Yeah, so anyway, getting off track here, working on this parking lot for the children's hospital over here, which I forgot to talk about. So we have this children's hospital, which is like right across the street from a landfill, which is a little bit screwed up, but I'm pretty okay with it. I don't know, it's not that unrealistic to see something like that, but I guess the landfill dump site might be being turned into something a little bit nicer, or something like that. Looks like it's being cleared out, obviously, with what we did over there. Once again, I learned this from Fresh Popcorn. Always remember that I learned from Fresh. You gotta add a story to everything in your city. Really, like if you add a story, then everything just comes together, and it just makes sense, and just works out. So just try to do that when you're making your city. I know it sounds sort of stupid, but you'd be able to rationalize putting a landfill next to a children's hospital if you add a little story, add some excavators and material handlers and stuff to remove the trash and stuff, and as in it's getting cleared out or something. I don't know. It just, once again, just add a story to your city, and everything just comes together. So doing a lot of work here in this parking lot, and adding a lot of just different decals, mostly the panel decals. Once again, those just make an area come together. Taser just showed me that works incredibly well in one of his shopping centers, and I'm doing that ever since, obviously. So adding a bunch of little planters here and stuff. Not much more to say. I don't know. Just use the London plane trees and just a bunch of different foliage to fill that. I notice placing just the curb assets, if you place multiple ones clipped together, you really have to add some plants in them, otherwise they look really glitchy and weird, so I always tend to do that. But now over here, we're adding some of these shotgun houses to the street here. The shotgun houses by King Leto are really, really nice. They're pretty small though, so I haven't been using them at all, so I thought they fit pretty well in this neighborhood, just in a line right here. Used a real variety of assets here in this neighborhood, which is once again meant to be pretty rough compared to the rest of the city, I guess. I don't know. It's not too bad, but trying to add some of these rocks, the rock clusters, and trying to make a wooden path work down here, as in like stairs. I could actually use like stair assets, but really couldn't be bothered. These wood paths work really well, and instead. And yeah, using once again a bunch of those rock clusters. Those look really nice on rougher beaches like this, and smaller beaches. I don't know, this beach is a little bit misplaced. I guess it's just a weird spot to put it, but I want to add a couple more to the islands in the future. And once again, I think I've mentioned this before, but I've got a lot of things sort of planned for the future that I've written down on a notepad document that, I don't know, just little ideas that aren't too major, but they're little ideas that I really want to implement into the city. So I'm just looking back at that every once in a while and just trying to make sure I implement all of those before we're finished. And we're definitely, there's a long way until we're done. I think I mentioned a couple episodes ago, we're probably halfway through the series. And I don't want to, with the airport, even if I managed to get everything to work, I feel like I would have sort of rushed it a little bit, considering the time I had and how big of a project it is. So in a way, I'm sort of happy that didn't work out, because I really don't want to be rushing anything when it comes to this city. I want everything to be really, really planned, and I don't know. So I'm actually sort of happy that the airport didn't work out. We'll definitely have a lot more time to work on that in the future, over months, really. I don't know. I think it's going to be a smaller airport. Probably only take like 2 or 3 episodes to finish the whole island, but definitely very off topic here. But yeah, right now we're working on this shopping complex on the other side, over towards the country club. And yeah, this has got a bunch of the Crazy Glue-It commercial and a McDonald's, so that worked out pretty well. I used some of the rural parking lot assets with the cracks in the bumpers, except the bumpers are hidden because I have to raise the poppable asphalt up in a minute. But yeah, it's really, really annoying dealing with poppable asphalt on slopes. I really wish it could form to slopes. And I can't really use the decals because those won't exactly work with the parking lot decals, and they'll just disappear once you zoom out anyway. So can't exactly use the poppable asphalt decals, but anyway, using some of these iron fences to separate areas off, and I don't know, stuff like that. Making sure that this is raised up enough. It's just so annoying dealing with the poppable asphalt, but it's definitely way worth it, and looks really realistic from above and stuff. So also, you'll see later in the live gameplay that I did a lot of stuff off camera towards the highway, just a lot of commercial buildings and stuff like that. You'll see that a little later, and we made a lot of progress. I didn't really want to include it on camera because it was really repetitive, but yeah, you'll see that. So anyway, adding some of these hatch markings here, and just trying to make the drive-thru sort of transition and just curve a little bit, because the thing is, right now it's very, very square with the iron fences and stuff, so just adding some of these decals, I figured, would just make it work a lot better. And then I end up adding some curbs over here by the windows and stuff, just extra little details, adding some of the padelma bushes and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm really happy with this drive-thru. I think it works pretty well. I saw, in terms of my idea for putting a McDonald's just sort of in the middle of a shopping center parking lot like this, I saw Flux do this in Arrowhead back in that big box store episode, where you put a IHOP or something in the middle of the whole parking lot, which I don't know, I just hadn't thought of doing in this game, and I think it works really well if you do it right, so had a lot of fun with that. And as you can see, we're working on the back lot for this area now. Just trying to place some of the concrete over here so we can begin working on that. So this back lot, I just added some of the corrugated fences and just a gate. I used the newer Beard Monkey Rusty gate, which I've been using a lot recently. I just think it works really well, and it's a little bit different from just the normal iron industrial gate that we sort of used before as like our only gate for back lots. And another thing here, I'm just adding a bunch of the gray dirt decals. I forget what they're called exactly, but those are pretty nice, and just a bunch of puddles, various decals here, and just skid mark decals, and once again, lots of other things, and going a little bit overboard with those, but I think in a moment we're just going to start adding some trucks and some piles and stuff, so yeah, I don't know. These backlots have gotten a little bit repetitive, but I don't know. I think I've gotten a lot better at them, I guess, through time. So I've just done so many, and you see right here I'm just adding some loading bays with some trucks there, and lots of boxes and stuff like that. These Beard Monkey loading bays are great because these buildings don't actually have any loading bays like built in, so I had to add some myself, and without these Beard Monkey props, I would not be able to. So that worked out pretty well, and in a moment here, I'm going to actually leave you with some music and come back in a couple minutes for the live gameplay. You're going to see we're going to start on the high school sports area, and note it's much rougher than the actual high school, and I want to go back and add some like construction props, as I'll mention later, just to give the appearance that it's being redone, because it doesn't exactly fit the rest of the high school. It's a lot rougher, as you'll see, so definitely going to add that in the future, but that's pretty much it for me right now. I will be back to give you a tour of what we built this episode in a couple of minutes, but for now, enjoy the music, and I'll see you soon. Alright, we're back and we're ready to look at the progress we made in this episode here. So first of all, the high school sports complex. I'm really happy with this. And yeah, this area over here I think looks great, and it's not too well maintained, which is different from the rest of the high school. Like, the rest of the high school is very nice, I'd say, and really well maintained. So this is a little bit different, and I figure maybe it's like getting redone soon or something like that. I did like some parking around the periphery and stuff, and I thought that worked out well. There's a little bit of detailing I have to do like over here, like add some bushes or something, because that fence is not fully connected or anything. So I will get to that later. But and there's like some stuff under the bleachers that is not fully done. So I will get to that later once again. But otherwise, I'm so happy with how this turned out. Also, another thing I want to do is I want to show you this new tree. Well, not so new for you. I have, you know, I'm pre-recording this. This is actually this audio and gameplay is being recorded on the 3rd of August. So, yeah, this is way in the past. But recently, this tree came out by Mr. Mason, and I want to go over this a little bit. So, this is the Norway spruce tree, and this is absolutely perfect for the Pacific Northwest theme we're going for here. So I'm definitely going to be adding this a ton to Aramore as we move forward. I might even go and redo some old stuff and add this in, because this tree, like if I was starting again, this would be like my my signature tree for the series. But sadly, we've already got the Norfolk Island pine doing that, even though it's a little bit unrealistic because it's more of a tropical pine. But otherwise, like this tree, it just looks so great, and it's perfect for the Pacific Northwest. So definitely going to be using that a lot in the future. I just wanted to show you that. But yeah, moving forward, the shopping center over here, it's like adjusted daytime. So this area over here, I'm really happy with this shopping center. I added the Crazy Glue It shopping center buildings, and I used the like a McDonald's right over here. And I don't know, I'm really happy with how the McDonald's turned out with the drive-thru and everything. I might add like some arrows in the future. Lots of stuff to change, but for the most part, like these parking lots look great. A little bit of glitchy stuff with the ploppable asphalt, but I don't really want to mess with it. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. And over here we have the back lot, lots of piles of junk and decals, and once again using these panel decals to fill the whole area, and they just add a lot of uniformity, I guess, throughout. And I don't know, they hold the place together, just adding these panel decals and then just a bunch of other decals on top of them. I don't know, I think it's great for back lots, so I've been doing that a lot. I also use these houses in like a row over here, which actually I definitely recommend doing. These look really nice like in a row, so definitely try that. And over here, like I did some stuff off camera. I like really expanded this area by the highway, so yeah, did a lot here actually. Lots of different commercial buildings, and we got the Stonewall Inn. We got a bunch of garages. It's pretty cool over here. So I actually really like this building. It's like, I think from West Virginia, but it's a really cool building. So I definitely recommend you grab this. I forget what it's called, but just look up West Virginia. Somebody's been making a bunch of West Virginia assets like recently. I think this is like from Charleston or something. So that's pretty nice. And over here we have the terminus of this tram line, and using a bunch of these newer workshop assets. Those are really nice, the ones with the dark parking. Sometimes I wish they didn't have dark parking because it's not amazing when combined with other stuff, but like it's nice just having that as a contrast, because obviously some parking lots will be dark, and I've made my roads pretty bright. I've actually changed the highways back so they're really dark in terms of the actual color, but the effective color with the texture I'm using is like this. So I'm probably going to keep it around here. Might increase the brightness a little bit because it looks really weird transitioning above, but I don't need to be taking too many screenshots from too far up, so I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, when you like zoom in, this highway texture is great, so hopefully you like it as well. And yeah, another thing I did is I connected the highway network over to this end of the map, And I'm not running 81 tiles right now for some reason, so I cannot go out there. Yeah, this highway I extended over here, and we're gonna definitely detail this more in the future. I want to add like a bunch of forests in here, but yeah, overall, like I'm really happy with how the layout of the map is turning out, and just the mountains and stuff like that. So, yeah, let's see. Let's go back down here and look at some of the other stuff. So, I mean, we didn't do live gameplay last episode. This is the train station. Oh my gosh, the FPS is just so bad. It's just so bad. But yeah, this is the central train station. Really happy with how this turned out. One thing I'm gonna do that Jay suggested is remove a bunch of the grass here, because apparently it can cause fires. So definitely want to do that. He also suggested maybe making it so that a couple of the rails weren't used as much anymore, or create the effect of that, and like remove a bunch of the grass from one side and put more on the other, which that could be really cool. So yeah, I might do that in the future. So thanks to Jay for some suggestions there. And yeah, over here we have this bad neighborhood, I guess, that we built earlier on. It's just not as well off as the rest of town, and I don't know. I'm definitely gonna add more of these, and I think, I mean, it's not really that bad, but it's like a little bit more rough, and I don't know. I'm really happy with how it turned out, and I added like a bunch of different stuff. I don't think on camera, like I added this, like I don't know if I added the moving trucks on camera, but yeah, lots of different stuff. I'm probably gonna cut a lot of that out of the video because we had just a lot going on here. We got the beach, which I really like. Well, the FPS is just so bad, but it's worth it. Like, yeah, Aramore's really coming along. So many of these views, you know. Yeah, the FPS is like, I'm getting 4 FPS right now, so I'm just gonna try to like look down right here. You get the general idea of where stuff is. So yeah, the beach over here, which I really like. I wanted to put a little beach on this side of the island, and I've also started, obviously, the ferry network. I haven't connected a bunch of stuff. I gotta get that mod that removes the buoys, because these are really annoying. I wasn't sure if I trusted Strict when he was saying these were annoying in his vid, but yeah, these are incredibly annoying. So yeah, definitely gonna get that mod. Shoreline over here looks pretty nice. A bunch of other stuff. I detailed this Taco Bell a bunch, and yeah, probably went a little bit overboard with detail. So this area over here, we've got the Children's Hospital next to a landfill, which is sort of screwed up, but it is what it is. I guess this landfill might not exactly be a landfill. It might be a site that's being, you know, cleaned out and, you know, set for building or something. But yeah, putting the Children's Hospital over here, I mean, it's sort of screwed up, but it's fine. Got a little parking lot and a parking garage for the hospital as well. And yeah, overall, this looks pretty nice. I might actually change this a little bit, because this does look a little bit odd having a giant landfill next to a children's hospital. But not even odd, just sort of screwed up, but whatever. I'm sort of fine with it, and I guess that's pretty much it for what we did this episode. And definitely check out my Twitter. There should be some teasers of the next episode. You definitely don't want to miss it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you all enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like. It really is appreciated. Subscribe if you're new around here, and hit the bell icon next to the subscribe button to get notified whenever I upload. And once again, follow me on Twitter. Tons of teasers coming your way of coming episodes and stuff like that. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and enjoy the cinematics. I will see you next time.